Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it is finally time for the January TBR Game and Hopefuls video. Now you may see different books up here, and that is because I have organized my books in order of how long I've had them on my TBR to how short. So as we go through these TBR videos throughout the year, there will be much more interesting titles up here. Right now we have a lot of old school books, but these are books that I either want to read or reread. That's some interesting stuff down here too. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is going to be all of my hopeful reads for January. If you did not see my video from this past Monday, I have a lot new going on in January, and I'm just going to talk about it as if you guys know about it. So first of all, let's talk about devotionals for the year and for January. First of all, you know I want to read more in the Bible this year. I have read the Bible all the way through before. I'm not necessarily planning to do another Bible reading in a year. I'm going to pick up with Judges where I left off. Then for my devotional for the year, I am leaning toward Sweet Freedom by Sarah Palin. I literally got this like 10 years ago. Really should just read through it. So this is what I'm thinking I'm going to try out for my devotional for the year, and if I don't like it, I can always switch it to something else. My first buddy read of the year is going to be A Holy Pursuit. I have not received it yet, and I just thought it sounded great. Talking about holiness is a topic that I would like to read more about, and so I'm looking forward to this. Then continuing from last year, I still have Gospel-Centered Kids Ministry. This is what I will read every Saturday night before teaching my preschool and kindergarten class on Sunday mornings. Right now, I'm in the middle of a list. There are a lot of lists, so I will probably be reading this a good percentage of 2023. Now, let's get into my 12 challenge. I'm super excited about the books that I have on this 12 challenge this year, because I think they're a little bit more to my reading tastes based off of the people who gave me recommendations, just kind of knowing what I like to read. So the first book, and it is The Girl with the Louding Voice. Now when you're seeing this, I will have hopefully already read this and vlogged it. The vlog is coming next week, and I'm super excited about that. It's kind of a thick book, but I've heard such great things about this. It's super high rated on Goodreads. Basically about this girl and her struggle to get an education and like the value that she places on it. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. At least I hope I'm going to. So excited for the first book of the new year. Now let's go ahead and get into my TBR game. Because I have refreshed everything, there are no rollovers for this month. I am just gonna play one round of each of the elements of the TBR game. So let's go ahead and draw a title from my heart box. This is completely refreshed. I have put every title that I'm really looking forward to reading. Let's find out what I'm gonna read. Oh, I unhauled this. It's Addie LaRue. Actually, I'm glad that this came up because I don't really talk about the books that I unhaul in my little free library video as well as I should have. Basically, I have been spoiled for Addie LaRue, and I'm not really fond of the spoiler. That's just something that I'm not interested in reading, especially in a book that's like hundreds of pages. So I went ahead and I unhauled Addie LaRue. So let's choose a different one. Love it though, because I feel like I'm already getting through these. Oh, actually this is already on my TBR for January, but I guess I'll just have to choose something else for that. The 5 Love Languages. I really wanted to save this for a different prompt, but it is what it is. The 5 Love Languages. I am looking forward to reading this. I already had planned to read it in January. I will just have to find something else to fill the prompt that it was gonna fill. All right, next, TBR Trouble. Let me go ahead and count my books and then we'll play. Okay, so I've divided them up into groups. So if I land on a 1, I will be reading the oldest book, which actually I'm really excited about, Pilgrim's Progress. If I land on a 6, I'll be reading the newest book, The Church as Movement. If I land on a 2, we'll narrow it down from this group. 3 will narrow it down from this group. 4 will narrow it down from that group, and 5 will narrow it down from that group. Let's see what we land on. Okay, it's a 1. That makes it easy. I already moved this around, but it landed on 1, which means I get to reread The Pilgrim's Progress, and I love this book so much, or at least I loved it when I was a kid. So I hope that I still love it, and I'm super excited to read it in the new year. very fond of the TBR thus far. Right, next I just need to draw a prompt from this jar. Going with this one. It's an old Bookopoly prompt. Last book mentioned in a book. Guys, I really just kind of want to skip this prompt because I have absolutely no idea. So let's go with this. Trade with a friend. No. I was actually afraid that this was going to come up, but I really don't want to do this anymore. I had made this prompt like years ago. I'm going to throw both of these out. I really just don't like them. And this is my game, so we're going to cheat, and I'm going to find a prompt that I actually do like and want to fulfill. Another Bookopoly one. Ask personal social media. Okay, well, I'll have to come back for that. Okay, Goodreads, the lowest rated on Goodreads that I can read. I do have to skip the absolute lowest because the absolute lowest is one of my 12 challenge books, which I'm kind of nervous about, but it's fine. The lowest rated that I can read for this month is called The Sherwood Hero, and I'm going to try to get this on ebook. If I can't, then I'll just order it. I don't remember what this is about. I think it's kind of like a Robin Hood retelling. Not 100% sure. I'm looking forward to reading it. It sounds interesting to me, so I guess we'll just see what I think. Okay, so with Fib Finder, I am going with the bottom half of the board being the oldest book on my TBR, which I've been meaning to read this for years. This is my mom's book, actually. But then the top half is going to be like a most anticipated. I went ahead and chose one of my most anticipated specifically from what's on my TBR cart right now. So I chose Unashamed by Francine Rivers. Honestly, happy with either of those because I would like to get both of them read. Oh, very sneaky, Fib Finder. Fib Finder was sneaky. We got Courting Disaster. Well, I have needed to read this for so long, so I will finally get to it in January. I honestly don't even remember that much about this, except that it's about the Supreme Court and the Constitution. I'm definitely interested to read it, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so now we're going to get into some readathons that I'm participating in. First of all, I am participating in Melanie from Completely Melanie's TBR Knockout. I'm not going to do this every month, but I do want to do some of the months just for fun. I will also be participating in Oshina's Christian Romance Challenge. 2 readathons for this month. First of all, we have the Read in the New Year readathon, which I believe is Oshina and one of her friends. And then I have the New Year New Reads readathon, which is Keisha and some of her friends. So quite a few things I need to fill in, but for the New Year New Reads and Read in the New Year readathons, there are three prompts that actually work for both of them. So I'm going to do those first, and then I will share with you the Read in the New Year prompts. For both, I need to read a book from a new to me author. Honestly, most of them I've read from before, but I have not read one by Walter A. Henriksen. His disciples are made, not born, and I recently started this in a try a chapter video, and I feel like it's going to be a quick read, so that's what's making me want to choose this for the readathon. I think that'll be great. Let's go with this. Okay, the next prompt for both readathons, well, I'm working it together. They're not really the same prompt, but they're going to work together. One readathon is it has to be a book set in the past, and then another one has to be a book that I didn't get to in 2022. And for both of these, I am choosing The Book of Lost Names, which was one of my 12 in 2022 reads that I started, and I am a good way into it, and I want to finish it. I've actually been kind of tempted to pick it up throughout December, so I am going to choose that, and I am reading that by ebook. And the last prompt that, well, there are 2 different prompts that I'm working together for both readathons. For one readathon, it is a book that I didn't pay for, but most recently received. And for the other one, it's my newest on my shelf. And for both of those prompts, it is this book by Phoebe Mills. I don't know anything about this author. I hope this is a good book. If not, like, don't take this as a book recommendation. We're gonna find out together if this is actually good. But it's called A Wedding on Sunshine Corner. And basically, it's a preschool teacher who she and one of her student others are interested in each other. We'll see if this is good. I don't know. I hope that it's good. Okay, so now I need to find a book that is under 250 pages, and that's what I was going to choose, The 5 Love Languages, and then my backup plan was Pilgrim's Progress. So now I gotta find one that is less than 250 pages. I was very seemingly excited about When Work and Family Collide. This is all about time management, and I feel like that would be a great way to start off the year, so I'm going to choose this. Not really the most readathon-y book, but I'm excited. I need to read this, or reread it. I definitely read this for school. It's been like 10 years, so we're going to reread this. The next prompt is Food Plays a Role. And I picked up this book at a little free library specifically for this prompt, and it is called Salt and Sugar. And it's basically like a Romeo and Juliet situation, only each of these two are part of like a bakery family, and the families are like against each other. One place is called Salt, one place is called Sugar. They're right across from each other. And through a series of events, they learn things about each other and realize maybe they're not the worst people ever, and maybe there's some romance. We shall see. I don't know. But I'm definitely excited to try this out, and I think the cover is just so cute. The last prompt that I am choosing, there is a prompt about like continuing a series, but since I have something else planned, I'm probably not going to do that. But the last prompt that I am going to try to do requires there to be water on the cover or in the title. Technically, there's water on this cover, but I'm gonna pretend I don't see that, and I'm gonna move on to something else. And technically, there's frozen water. I may change this out, but the bridge has water on it if you look closely. Little water droplets. And plus, the bridges usually, sometimes they cover roads, but bridges usually cover water. So I am going to go with this, but it does have water on the cover. Like, that's not a stretch. So I think I'm going to go with this because I just picked this up. No, I was given this for Christmas, and I thought it was a new book because this was published in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012. And I'm just excited to read it. It sounds good. So here we go. So now for the Christian Romance Challenge. My prompt is to reread an old favorite. I have two that I could choose from. One of them I actually could pull out. I just don't feel like it. It's another Karen Kingsbury, and it's called A Time to Dance. But I just reread that. I mean, I guess now at this point it was like a year and a half ago, but like I kind of don't want to reread it right now. So I would prefer to go with this option, which is I Do. It is part of the Diary of a Teenage Girl, Caitlin O'Connor's series. This was one of my favorites when I was a teenager, and I just really want to reread it. I am either going to order it and have my own copy to hold on to, or I'm going to read it by ebook. Not sure yet, but I'm looking forward to that. So for TBR Knockout, the two prompts are white on the cover, and then words on the cover are pretty much the only thing. For the words, I'm going to go with For Women Only, because it's just words on the cover. I mean, there are stripes, but like there are no pictures. There's not really a design. For Women Only. We're gonna go with this. And then for white on the cover, I'm gonna go with this book that I was thinking about unhauling but wasn't quite sure. I'm gonna try Through the Eyes of a Lion, Facing Impossible Pain and Finding Incredible Power by Levi Lusko. I just think that that will be a good combination for that part of the readathon. So we're gonna go with those two. Okay, so if you saw my last video, you know that I am going to be trying to read or finish up a different series every month, and you guys are gonna get to vote on what series that is. So for this month, you guys voted, and I was kind of surprised by the results. Like, I kind of was expecting something else, but you guys overwhelmingly wanted me to read the Lord of the Rings series, and I am ordering this cute collection. It is surprisingly difficult to get all 4 books of the Lord of the Rings series. I literally only found 1 copy of The Hobbit at the library, and that was it. There is no other, none of the books are available anywhere else. And so I ordered my own collection, and I'm super excited because the covers are absolutely beautiful. It was inexpensive. I'm super happy. Very much looking forward to getting these and getting to read them. I read The Hobbit in middle school, and I never continued the series. And I really need to, because I really loved The Hobbit when I read it. I just didn't continue on. I'm gonna reread The Hobbit, and I'm gonna read the whole series as much as I can, of course, in the span of time that I have set for reading that series, and I'm gonna vlog it. We're gonna see what I think, and I'm super excited about it. I've literally been looking forward to this for quite a while, so yeah, just gonna enjoy that. That will go up here when it arrives. So drum roll, please. Probably not hard to figure out, but the author that I'm going to be reading from in January is Jane Austen. So enjoy some Jane Austen rereads, as well as picking up a book of hers I haven't read yet, and reading some inspired works that are Jane Austen-ish. And I'm super excited about this. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna reread, well, there are 2 books that I'm gonna reread, and I hope to get to both of them. One I'm definitely going to prioritize because it's a new edition that I may have received for Christmas. If you saw my What I Got for Christmas video, you probably know what I'm talking about. I do plan to reread my favorite, Pride and Prejudice. Love it so much. I don't know where my other copy is, but I'll just reread it from this edition. Totally fine. Love this. So excited. And then the one I'm most excited for is reading Persuasion. Now, I've listened to Persuasion on audiobook, but I've never physically read it, and I got this lovely edition. The handwritten classics comes with all kinds of letters and maps and fun mementos. I cannot wait to have this experience when I'm doing my Jane Austen reading days in the month of January. I'm so excited. So these 2 will be my rereads. And then I also plan to pick up and read Northanger Abbey, which I was supposed to read in the past, but I've never gotten to it. It is one of her shorter books, so I'm very much excited to try that out and see what I think of it. I picked up 2 books that are Jane Austen inspired, and I'm going to, if I have time, pick up these. One's pretty long. Like, it's a chunky book. I don't know that I really I'm gonna get to this, and tiny print too. It is The Other Bennet Sister, and I believe this is just kind of like an alternate story about Mary Bennet, I'm pretty sure. And I also picked up The Jane Austen Society, which I don't remember what this is about, but it's super cute. These are just options if I do finish the actual Jane Austen works that I have and want to read some more. We'll see if I get to these, I don't know. But I definitely do want to reread both of these and read Northanger Abbey. So that is all my TBR. And then the last thing I have is my blind date with Bookmas, which I'm going to wrap up 11 of my Bookmas books from this past year, or the ones that I have hauled for next year. And I will read 1 per month. So on the 25th, I'm going to draw another book. And I will vlog it, and you guys will see if I read that book or if I end up DNFing it. We shall see. I don't know. But I can't share it with you guys yet because I don't know what it's going to be. But there will be one on the 25th and a vlog shortly thereafter. These are hopefuls for the most part. Finish the TBR ones, I will get a reward. And if I read all of these books by some miracle, I will be able to buy something for my Amazon wish list, which would be awesome. We shall see if that happens. That seeming a little unlikely, but we'll see. And yeah, that is everything for this video. If you liked this craziness, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below any books that you are excited to see what I think of. If you've read any books, if you want to warn me about any of these, whatever you would like to share, please do so. And I'm very much looking forward to the craziness that's about to ensue. But we will start off with the girl with the louding voice. That is everything. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss seeing what I think of all of these books and all the future content to come. The next video that you guys will see from me is my little free library haul and unhaul video. It was a time, let me tell you. I got so many books, so excited about it. There's a lot more. Like, just stay tuned, okay? That is everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!